How do you know that you know something? How do you know that what you know is real? How do you know that even you are real? What if everything you know or think you know is nothing short of an appearance that shows itself to your eyes, but that hides what the thing really is in itself, a reality that you never get to know. This type of doubt, which may seem stupid or even useless, has permeated the field of philosophy to this day. Many philosophers have been eager to resolve these issues, though almost all of them in an incomplete and inconclusive way. In this video, we will try to quickly show the path that many of them took and why such inquiries are so intriguing. Let's imagine you are in front of a cliff. Is there a plausible reason to doubt the existence of this cliff? Or what if the apple we eat is an object dependent of us, like a creation of our conscience? What exactly is all this useful for? This attitude of negligence in the face of the problem is currently accepted in the realm of positive sciences. Examples of these sciences are like chemistry or physics. The point is that such an attitude pushes the scientists in the task of cutting out reality and studying it from the determined point of view, like chemical or physical, as I said. We don't often see these scientists willing to ask whether their research objects are real or not. They already assume an independent reality in what they study and observe. So, as you can see here, even the attempt to deny philosophy is nothing but a genuine philosophical stance. The knowledge problem is inescapable. Hegel once said that the doubt about the possibility of knowledge, about whether it's possible to know something, is completely silly, because the investigation of knowledge doesn't happen except knowing. It's presumed that it's possible. Therefore, for Hegel, creating a subject as a theory of knowledge is meaningless. What Hegel says is kinda true. However, the theory of knowledge doesn't try to be 100% free of assumptions. It does investigate the possibility of knowledge, assuming that it's really possible. In the theory of knowledge, there are two planes of reality, two sides that make up all of what we're talking about: the subject side and the object side. You, who are watching this video, would be the subject. The screen, on which your eyes maintain eye contact, is the object. There's no knowledge without the confrontation between these two elements. Many skeptical philosophers like Pierre de Alice saw the contact between the subject and the object as impossible, even saying that there is no true knowledge. What if we ask these skeptics and relativists, if there's no true knowledge, is it true knowledge? We should always be wary of these negative positions. Others in antiquity, such as the pre-Socratics, didn't see any problem in the subject and object relationship, were very naive realists. Only later, with the sophists, Protagoras and Gorgias, for example, and of course with Plato and Aristotle, knowledge and its possibility would be finally discussed. Some metaphysical proposals to solve the problem are important. We have the realistic position, commonly defended together with Thomas Aquinas and Aristotle. Recently, we can see a critical realism and a volitional realism. On the other hand, we have the idealist position, with an immense number of defenders. To name a few important ones, we can say Berkeley, Fichte, Schelling, Hegel, and many more. And the third position is Kant's position, known as phenomenalism. We don't know things as they are in themselves, but as they appear to us. What all these branches want to prove is that there are real objects, not just mental, but existing out of mind, out of thought, out of consciousness, extra-mental, that's the realistic position. And second, there are no objects outside our mind. Everything is just a construction of the subject. That's the idealist position. If we accept the realism thesis, which evidently seems to be the most reasonable one, if you have any doubts about it, think how an idealist would react in front of a cliff, then it remains to be seen whether this real object, apprehended by the subject, is known as it really is in itself or just as it appears to the subject. It's in this issue that the phenomenal thesis of phenomena and the thing in itself appears, and it appears in the scene opposing the Aristotelian thesis that objects are perfectly known as they really are. Although relatively old philosophies may seem old-fashioned in our eyes today, like the Greek, they have a huge community of good defenders currently. To conclude our study on this matter, we cannot fail to remember about the immense discussion that exists in philosophy about the confrontation between rationalism and empiricism. Both have famous defenders. To name a few members of rationalism, we have Malebranche, Descartes, and Leibniz. For empiricism, we can quote John Locke and David Hume. In short, for rationalism, the origin of knowledge is in reason and only in it. For empiricism, origin is in experience, and reason only organizes the content coming from that experience. To overcome this seemingly endless confrontation between rationalists and empiricists, we have two interesting thoughts: intellectualism, represented by the Aristotelian current, and a priorism by Kant. You may have noticed that there's a historical pattern here. The confrontation movement always tends to end between Aristotelians, with more traditional thoughts and more connected to common sense, and Kantians, with more critical thoughts and seeking more epistemological purity. In this confrontation, which side will you take and why? Write in the comments below, let us know what you think. And of course, if you like it, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.